On this week's episode of People You Need to Know, I'm happy to introduce Ann Tyler Hall of Hall Benefits Law. Ann, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
Oh, could not complain at all. Had a great Memorial Day weekend, and I understand that you were able to do a little traveling to a special place for you and your family. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I grew up in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. We have a rich musical heritage there. There was a documentary probably 8 years ago called Muscle Shoals, and it outlined the amazing musical heritage in that area. Fame Recording Studios, Rick Hall, and some really famous acts recorded there. Elvis Presley,
That's right.
Aretha Franklin. Some really amazing acts that recorded right there in small town Muscle Shoals. And it's interesting, growing up, I didn't even know it. So I watched that documentary in awe with everyone else and would pass by Fame Studios on a regular basis. But it was really neat to get a better understanding of that musical heritage. And if you haven't seen the documentary, check it out, Muscle Shoals.
For sure. Very cool. And I'm a huge music fan. I've seen it. It's really a good documentary. Well done. Switching to business a little bit, you guys have done some great work for some of our clients, and we really appreciate that. But just by virtue of the name, it's Hall Benefits Law, right? So you think ERISA, health insurance, benefit plans. What are maybe some resources that you guys provide that people don't traditionally think about?
Yes, so we are a full-service ERISA legal compliance firm. And I think some of the unexpected resources that maybe people aren't aware of or don't associate with an ERISA law firm include an ongoing fixed fee fiduciary legal compliance review that we do for retirement plans. And quite frankly, as we see more and more fiduciary breach litigation hit health and welfare plans, it's a needed service for health and welfare benefit plans as well. So ongoing legal compliance reviews, specifically fiduciary compliance reviews, and virtual and on-site HIPAA trainings,
Yep.
And then filings of Form 5500s and ongoing ACCA compliance services, including the Forms 1094 and 1095 filings.
Awesome.
So we are full service.
Thank you for sharing that. I think stories are great. Would you maybe take a second and just go through maybe a brief client success story, something that's happened that you guys have helped with?
Absolutely. So about a year ago, about 18 months ago, we got a call from a larger client with over 10,000 employees, and they currently had a law firm, ERISA counsel, that they were working with, but they had received IRS and specifically related to ERISA issues, proposed penalty notices totaling over $50 million. And so the vice president of HR called and said, we're working with a firm, but they're not comfortable representing us and disputing these proposed penalties. Would your firm help? And we said, absolutely, yes. We jumped in, we disputed that over $50 million in proposed penalties. And I think they ended up paying about $1,200.
Wow.
And the vice president of HR said this would have sunk our business. So thank you. So it's very rewarding to be a part of that. And that's really what we are. We are proactive, preventive. Over the past 2 years, our firm has helped our clients avoid and abate over $60 million in proposed ERISA penalties. And save jobs, save livelihoods. We're excited about that. That's part of who we are, relationship driven and excellent work product focused.
You can always thank the government for that guilty until proven innocent.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
always,
That's
always
certainly the stance that was taken with this client of ours. So we worked about 6 months disputing those proposed penalties, and it was just a great success story. And the client was very engaged in the process, and that of course is also makes our job a little easier.
and it's more fun. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then after we finished batting down the penalties, avoiding those significant proposed penalties, then we circled back with them, and because we had developed that relationship, worked hand in hand with them, and been successful in that endeavor, then we started building out their health and welfare benefits legal compliance paradigm. Very large company. They have a lot of business associate agreements, contracts. We've reviewed those. We developed a wrap plan for them. We've done HIPAA compliance processes and are planning to do HIPAA compliance training. We've helped them with some of the COVID-19 changes. And what do they do if they're looking at furloughing employees? How does that impact their health and welfare benefits? Reductions in force, what are their COBRA obligations? So we just had a litany of different issues and ongoing concerns.
Well, for both of us, one of the good things is that it's not getting any less complex. So I think we'll both have a job for a little while. So let me switch gears and think about the future a little bit before we wrap up. What are you maybe most excited about personally? Is there something in your business that just really, really excites you?
Absolutely. We're excited about a lot of different things. It's hard to pick just one. We just hired a chief operating officer, Ken Beaver, comes to us from Washington, D.C., and he is spearheading some of our initiatives and endeavors, and it frees me up to be out really talking more about what we do and how we're different and unique and our core values, a relationship-driven ERISA legal compliance firm. We have a depth of experience on our team, but we're more nimble and more, I think, accessible than some of the larger law firms. And so a lot of our growth has been, we pull in a client in 1 year, and ERISA legal compliance is often seen as project-based work, but we go in and do a good job and build a relationship. And then while we're in there working on whatever issue is at hand, we'll point out, oh, by the way, we noticed that we didn't see, HIPAA policies and procedures. Do you have those? Do you need assistance with that? Why is that so important? And we talk through, the exposure and mitigating exposure. And I think clients really appreciate that. And it's not a hard sell. It's just that we care about you. We've seen what happens on the other side of this when clients get caught, or at that point, their perspectives, they come to us and they've been caught in the DOL or an IRS audit, and they're looking at 6, 7, even 8-figure proposed penalties. And we want to prevent that from ever happening for our clients.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. I get it.
That's right. And with all the changes with COVID-19, we think that the DOL and IRS are going to be looking at that. Did you update did you send out a summary of material modifications to accommodate some of these changes? Did you update your documents to reflect these changes? And a lot of them are optional, but if you as an employer or a plan sponsor are going to adopt these changes, there have to be consequential changes and updates to your plan documents. So we're trying to stay a step ahead of that. There's a lot to be excited about. Certainly not that COVID-19 happened, but there are a lot of changes that impact benefits. And so we're trying to be on the front end of that. We've written a lot of articles, been in Bloomberg Law 360, talking about not only the changes coming down the pipe, but what does this mean for plan sponsors and how can they prepare? So we're excited about being a step ahead of that.
That's perfect. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me. It's always good to talk to you. Tell your husband I said hello as well, and we will talk very soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Nick.